Hi everyone, my name is Tony. This November 7th, we're planning to bring 30 ASEAN social entrepreneurs from Kuala Lumpur. Please come meet them and hopefully shop with them as well, because we're going to have a marketplace as well. I'll be there with some of my fellow business owners. It's about bringing ASEAN entrepreneurs together. It's about bringing social enterprises together. So see you on November the 7th, and let's hope we can create something special.
Hi, you're watching Agenda Awani and Eat Your Heart Out. The person in the video is now live beside me, Tan Sri Tony Fernandez. Who else? Tan Sri, I'm just going to go straight to it. For the longest time, since 1960s, people have been hearing about ASEAN, seeing ASEAN, but it's just the top elites meeting all the time. And now we want to see people to people. From a business point of view, AirAsia has done that for us. Mobility has increased so much, but we shouldn't just rest there. And now, in the 21st century, more and more we're hearing about social enterprise. So how do you look at social enterprise as this mobility enabler, wealth creation enabler, and more important than not, raising the bottom to meet higher and higher the challenges of the world?
Yeah, well, that's a great introduction. I mean, you know, when we started AirAsia, we saw ASEAN as our playground. We saw ASEAN before many people saw ASEAN as a single destination. And everything we do now is geared towards ASEAN. And we went into areas that no one else wanted to go into. Yep. 1 in 3 of our routes are new routes. So social entrepreneurship is an area that many companies, one, don't understand, haven't really engaged. And, you know, most companies feel the obligation is just to write a check.
Yep.
And, okay, I've given my check to sponsor this.
my good deed.
I've done my bit. We want to take it slightly differently. I'm not saying that's wrong. It's important, but I think it's important for people to help themselves. And we have so many good people in ASEAN that need a little bit of a helping hand. And so, you know, Munching and her team have created AirAsia Foundation, and we have 10 fantastic projects. Firstly, what is social entrepreneurship? Yes. Social entrepreneurship is really about, one, people helping themselves. We want to give money to organizations that will help the community. It's not about profit. It's about making enough money to keep the effort going. Okay. And our support has gone from an old silversmith in Jogja to a ballet that was dead, a puppet ballet, to a renewable energy project, where all these projects are helping people help themselves. And one of the ideas of this conference is to bring ASEAN social entrepreneurs together to exchange ideas. Yes. You know, AirAsia has brought people together. Okay. But now we want to bring entrepreneurs together, social entrepreneurs, to share some ideas. That's why
you've been on the other side, if I put it across the divide. Yeah. But now you're looking at social enterprise like that. So I want to put this to you, that a lot of people, even in the more developed nation, they're talking about scaling up social enterprises, you know. Usually they are very micro and, you know, medium at most. But there's also now the definition of scaling out. Because for social enterprise, I don't keep my things inward. I'm not worried to share whatever product or services that I have. So if we map that to ASEAN, I think this can grow faster than any G2G or business-to-business movement.
Yeah, this is a fantastic interview, actually. I didn't expect it from my former music man. I expected normal, staid questions, so it's really good. You've done your homework. Look, I'm a big believer that private enterprise is key for ASEAN. Okay. I think we can't wait for governments, G2G, etc. Governments should facilitate and provide a platform, but we've got to get out and do something. So AirAsia got out and do something. We want to help entrepreneurs, and we help entrepreneurs in terms of providing young kids who need a first break, a chance to work with AirAsia. I just did something with a design school just now. Okay. But you're so right. There's one huge area, and even I, you know, Munching has opened my eyes, wasn't aware of how much was going on. I've met many social entrepreneurs in Davos and various conferences, etc. But it's a huge community. Yes. It's a huge community. And actually, it's, I think, running parallel with profit entrepreneurship. social entrepreneurship can be a big, big, big contributor to making ASEAN a better place. So you're absolutely right. I think we should be looking at scaling up, and AirAsia is doing its little bit. And hopefully, just like airlines, when we started AirAsia, many people emulated us, you know. And hopefully from this conference, it's not just about bringing entrepreneurs together, it's about making corporations more aware of social entrepreneurship, and hopefully there'll be more foundations driven towards that way.
Great. We have to go for the first break, but after that, I want to go to that. Because sometimes corporations tend to look at this kind of initiative at an arm's length. It will just be pushed to maybe the corporate communication side, and there it resides. But CEOs, COOs, CFOs, the board should be looking at this, because time to just throw money here and there is not effective anymore. And if we really do this good and well, we can even settle the pesky haze problem once and for all. It's our airspace, it's our region. Let's take ownership. Social enterprise can make that difference after this.
Community Service Center for Deaf is a non-profit and non-government organization. We provide free education for all deaf children who come to us. The objective of this project is to have long-term sustainable income for the center, come to Destination Goods and buy our cookies.
You are still watching a very, very special interview. I'm always honored to have Tan Sri Tony Fernandes beside me on the show. But I want to relate this issue of where we are right now, especially where corporations are concerned. You know, it's a no-brainer that you want the cheapest economical ticket, you go online or you go on your mobile app. But there's still many corporations out there that refuse to allow that to happen because you have to go through this travel agency and stuff. So what I like about social enterprises is there's no hang-ups like this. You just move with the flow. But like you said just now, Tan Sri, with Destination Good at Nexus, how do we make the corporations now think again? I guess that's a very, very key for things to happen.
Well, let's be real. When I started AirAsia with Kamarudin, and Dr. Pahamin, we talked about, and Aziz, we talked about internet, and people said, oh, no one's going to use the internet, no one's going to do this, etc. We just did it.
Yes.
And now everyone, not everyone, but a large proportion of...
I still don't know how you go out and just bought 200 planes or something, but yeah.
In Malaysia is using the internet to drive sales. So social entrepreneurship is something new, it's a new concept. What you said before the break is so critical. It has to be led from the top.
Yep.
But let's also be real, you've got to have passion leading it. You know, Munching is the drive, is the energy behind this. She has support from me, but you need to have someone who's really driven and passionate about this. But CEOs have to get involved, otherwise so many roadblocks. What's great about this is it's engaging. And you can really see the fruits of results. AirAsia takes it to another level in that we sell the goods. Of many of these social entrepreneur organizations are doing. We sell the goods. So I think that it's something new in Malaysia.
Yes.
It's just like when AirAsia started, internet was new. And hopefully we'll get more corporations involved in this.
So for Malaysians out there, especially young Malaysians, even if you're always okay, you can still do social enterprise, but especially for the Gen Y, a lot of you know, there's this barrier for them to be entrepreneurs is one, let alone social entrepreneurship, because the bottom line is not your EBITDA or whatever, but it's social good. So what would your advice be? And, you know, maybe they should all go to good, Destination Good, because it's breaking that mental barrier.
Well, it's really in you. There are people who are profit-driven. Let's be honest, we're a little bit of a schizophrenic organization, but we're profit-driven, right? But we feel that even though we're profit-driven, we've done a lot of good in terms of organizations. But there are some people who just have no interest in profit, who are, and that's why the world is great.
Yes.
That we have, you know, if everyone is a Tony Fernandez or yourself or whatever, it'd be a very boring world.
Yep.
And there are people who just want effort in equals sometimes profit.
Yes.
But to other people, effort in equals making the world a better place.
Yep.
And kids in ASEAN now, it's remarkable how many people want to give back to society. And I'm amazed, you know, even when I see the projects that Munching is doing and I meet other people, there's a lot of driven people who want to make sure ASEAN, Malaysia, Indonesia are better places to live in. And we should encourage that. Entrepreneurship is not just about profit.
Yep.
You know, so social entrepreneurship, in our business of entrepreneurship equals profit. In social entrepreneurship is, as you said, doing good and giving back to society. They can coexist. And AirAsia has found a nice link.
Yes.
In that we provide support, but we also buy the goods. And in this way, we're also promoting it. And, you know, a lot of people who want to do it. And some people will move from social entrepreneurship maybe into something else they want to do. Other people like myself, one day I hope that I can fully focus and retire and do social entrepreneurship all the time. Give my advice to young social entrepreneurs.
Maybe in the beginning, for a lot of people who are new to social entrepreneurship, it might be just the lens you choose to pick up to look the world through.
Yes.
Because if you want to look at the problems in ASEAN, yes, we have a lot. But where I'm going to catch on from you is, when you look at the young population, those still in school, and yet they want to do the social enterprise to give back to society. So his is actually nothing compared to the drive that they have if they get together. And I want to put in ethics here, because you've always been big about philosophy of that, of empowering the bottom. Even though you're a baggage handler, but one day if you work hard and you have the vision, you can be a pilot, and that has been proven in your organization. But too many times in ASEAN, we feel that the ecosystem boggles down. So maybe this is one highway to achieve that.
No, correct. I mean, you know, I think that in terms of ASEAN, two things are changing ASEAN. One is the internet. The internet and communication and mobility is bringing people together. The second is businesses are bypassing governments through the internet.
But that's not a smooth transition.
I think it is.
It's quite painful.
No, I don't think it is, actually, because I think the governments haven't been able to react, so businesses just happen.
They can't do anything.
Look at Uber.
Okay.
Now, governments are trying to regulate Uber, but it's already so big, right? People love it.
It's a way of life.
Grab taxi. Then, you know, you've got these new internet ventures, e-commerce, Zalora, etc., which are crossing boundaries. So social entrepreneurship, again, is something that's not so regulated. And so I think there's a huge potential to create some ASEAN social entrepreneurship, to create what we did in Indonesia, we can bring to Malaysia, right? Malaysia, we can bring to things. So we're a small facilitator in that, but I think communication, mobility, is showing that ASEAN can work in different ways. It's not just about government, it's not just about AirAsia, but it's about the internet, entrepreneurship, and now you see social entrepreneurship bringing people together.
Okay, we have to go for the last break, but once we are back, I just want to hear great stories, because sometimes we've been missing you, we've been flying all over, now that I can have you sitting down there, because I want to relate this story before we go to break. At one conference in KLCC not too long ago, there was just these three very, very nice-looking school kids, secondary school kids from Johor, if I'm not mistaken, and they just got together, went to an orphanage, and people with disabilities and their kids, and they were making craft. But then they say, hey, why don't we use what we know about the internet and put great stuff that these people are making up online, and now they're having their own company and it's running, and they're still in school, not even past SPM yet. So Tan Sri has a lot more of those stories across ASEAN. He's been all over ASEAN. That we'll talk about after this break. The diplomats has always been wondering whether, when you ask anybody from ASEAN, would they be saying, I'm a Malaysian, then I'm ASEAN, or the other way around? But to me, it doesn't matter, because if you have something good that links people together, that's why I want now, if Tan Sri can indulge us, maybe share the good stories, because I found good stories in Malaysia about social entrepreneurship, but you have found them across ASEAN.
Well, we have 10 great stories, and I encourage people to come. Come to the conference in Nexus and learn about what social entrepreneurship is about. Learn about entrepreneurship, and then you may decide, because entrepreneurship, whether it's social, whether it's building AirAsia, are the same thing. One is profit, one is giving back the profit to social. And there are corporations such as ours that do a bit of both. So I encourage people to come, and hearing the stories is great. Seeing and living the real stories from these people, right? You've seen a couple of videos, our deaf school where we buy cookies. There is a fantastic story in the Philippines where battered women, abused by their husbands, etc., got together and started a small little enterprise and making handbags and various clothes, etc., which we sell on the plane. Fantastic story on that. We have, as I mentioned at the beginning of this interview, we're very proud of getting the Jogja silversmith back in action. Now again, these things, our idea is to try and make these ASEAN social enterprises as well, to try and get more people involved. Because if more people buy the goods, then they can do more good as well in their own area. What you said earlier, I do believe social entrepreneurship can help, and with microcredit, help the haze dramatically in creating different ways of sustaining the forest, but creating, it's not just about burning down the forest. People have to live. People have to eat. So
what's the alternative?
What's the alternatives? Social entrepreneurs can create that. We need to find alternatives. We can't just be high and mighty and say, no, stop burning because we want a better life. Because people are entitled to a good life as well. And then it's also about what on some sides it's a dichotomy here. When we started Destination, we sometimes can destroy the environment ourselves, right? So it's a beautiful beach and suddenly we bring millions and millions of tourists to the place. So part of what Munching's objectives are, which is also educating us, is sustainable tourism. We want to make sure that AirAsia doesn't destroy the area, and we work with people to keep the place as is. And make, so let's take a place in, let's take, for example, Kota Kinabalu, moving up north from Kota Kinabalu, to ensure that the forestry and all that is kept the same, but we give people a chance to live and learn and experience it. So many of these social entrepreneur organizations help us, educate us, and in terms of creating a sustainable environment. I think that's very important for ASEAN, because, the haze is a fantastic example of what's going on. You can't blame people for burning and trying to grow. You can blame some of the big companies. They've got to be a little bit more responsible. But a lot of these are small holders who need to live. But I think all corporations, as opposed to just shouting and screaming, have to work and see how we can help them. We've tied up with a big social entrepreneurship microcredit organization in Indonesia to try and find ways to get people to find other means of living as opposed to deforestation.
You're bringing big counterparts from Singapore, from the EU Young Sang, from Sintesa Group, Premier Group of companies. What do you hope for them to give for the people who will be there?
Well, two things. Business is business. Whether you're a social entrepreneur or running a big corporation, you still have to cover your costs. There's no point. So the first lesson for a social entrepreneur is to make sure that they generate enough to sustain their environment. So I want people to, whether you run any business, you still have to cover your costs. Otherwise, you're going to be out of existence. So we hope that these leaders can teach the existing entrepreneurs and the new social entrepreneurs a little bit about business. And then I think, these guys, part of this thing is for them to see the amazing people in ASEAN. I get awards and AirAsia gets a lot of awards, but I'm really, when I see a little video like I just have, it's like you feel very small because these people are doing some amazing things.
Yes.
And they're dedicating their life to it and sacrificing a lot to get these things going. So I want big CEOs and rich guys to see the other side of entrepreneurship. It's not just about being a billionaire. It's about a little bit of help given to other people. Look at the positive impact they can make to ASEAN.
Which will bring in some, we bring in some politicians to, you know.
Do you know, politicians is a interesting concept. I was just talking to Munching about it in the car, actually. I'm split sometimes because, you know, I think it's good for politicians to learn about social entrepreneurship and to embrace it. But I think right now, I would say I've been very public.
Yes.
Less government in business. And I think entrepreneurs should help each other. Private entrepreneurs should help social entrepreneurs first. ASEAN has relied too much on government. We need to do things ourselves. If we want to make a change, we get up and do it, right? So I think we shouldn't rely on government. Governments should,
if they come in, it's good.
If they come in, they're good. If they see what we're doing, it's great. But I think too much we put the burden on government, and I think we need to take responsibility ourselves.
And this is the best platform to do it.
I think it's a great platform. It's a great platform.
My final question would be, you said just now that, you know, your dream is you can retire and just concentrate full time on what social enterprise would it be?
Oh wow! No, I don't think I'd be one. I'd like to be like our TV show. Just fly around, meet people, give ideas. You know, like The Apprentice. I actually enjoyed The Apprentice. You know, meeting young kids, giving ideas, etc. But in this case, I get so much out of it. Because, you know, my whole life has been meeting guys who build companies, do this, do that. I really think that's nothing compared to what social entrepreneurs do. And I'd love to meet more and learn more.
Thank you so much, Tan Sri, as always.
Pleasure. It's fun. I didn't think it'd be as much fun.
I want to close now because I want to take many selfies and, you know, let them eat their heart out. Thanks to you for watching, and remember, Destination Good. You'll do a lot of good, and you'll be surprised at how you can really empower not only yourself, your family, but also the whole society of Southeast Asia. That's all I have for today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please send in your own views on this to all the platforms that we have. We have YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, and the likes. Or you can just download our iOS and Android application so that you can also give your comments while watching live on your favorite gadget. That's all for me. Thank you so much. I'll see you again in another episode very, very soon. Goodbye. Thank you so much.
Thank you.